I tried to watch movies on an iPad. So, how difficult is it? Okay, so before we get started, I know this video was supposed to be out Saturday. Um, that's my bad. I've just been really busy and really sleep deprived trying to get everything ready for the holidays and whatnot. Um, but this is my second week of using an iPad in replacement of a MacBook. Now, as I said before, it's replacing a MacBook. It's not replacing a desktop computer like an iMac or even a Windows PC. It's not my intention here. I'm just trying to replace what my laptop would be. So, as I did in the previous video, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I've got a iPad Mini 2 with a Zag Folio keyboard, and it fits up like a notebook would. And as I said in the past, I'm trying to go through some of these challenges of what can I do, what can't I do. And one of the bigger challenges that I wanted to do was, can I watch my digital downloads on an iPad? So before I go any further, let me tell you this. Every time that I get a DVD, I automatically redeem the digital download that comes with it. I love digital downloads. I think that that's the future because DVDs break. Especially when my 4 and 5-year-old siblings are in the house, they break. But I've got 3 options to watching movies on the iPad that I personally think are the best options. And, you know, we'll go through the price of those and add them to the cost of using an iPad, because again, you know, if this isn't cheaper than the MacBook, then at the end of the day, I'm going to recommend the MacBook. And if it can't do everything that the MacBook can, once again, at the end of the day, I'm going to recommend the MacBook. So, anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so the first option is obviously Netflix. Netflix has a lot of movies, as you can see. A lot of movies. In fact, half of my digital downloads are on Netflix. So, personally, one of the things that I would recommend is, if you're going to watch a lot of movies and you don't want to take up a lot of space on your iDevice, get Netflix. It's $7.99 a month. So we'll add that to the total in a minute. That's the first thing I would recommend. Okay, so another option would be to use something like iCloud Drive. For 99 cents a month, you can get 50 gigs of iCloud storage. And the beautiful thing about that is you just drag and drop from your Mac to your iCloud, whatever you have digitally downloaded. Like, for example, here, I'm a huge Dukes of Hazzard fan. It's nothing racist, I promise. I loved the show when I was younger. So I can just hit download from my iCloud drive. And, I mean, it does take a while, but it's not as bad as one would think. But there are some positives to this and some negatives to this, and as soon as this is downloaded, I'll show you what those are. Okay, so that was literally 30 seconds later. As you can see, I'm going to play like half of a second of a clip. Yep, so it plays. The plus side to using this is it's fast, it's easy, it's already backed up onto my computer. But the downside is, if I hit this delete button right here, it wants to delete it from the iCloud drive, not from my iPad. And I haven't found a way yet to like delete something from my iPad and not delete it from the drive. See, if I go over to videos here, no content. So I can't delete it there. If I go to photos, I don't want to use iCloud Photo Library yet. Maybe when I'm done with this. But if I go to, there's no videos here. You see my point? Like, there's no good way to delete it. Because if I delete it from here, like say I took up too much storage space, if I delete it from here, Like, it's just gone. And that means that if I've copied it directly, and see, like, I've only got 3 gigs of storage left, so I have to watch this. But if I copy it directly, then, and there's no backup, then it's just gone. And with most digital downloads, there's no redemption code either. Now, fortunately, I make a backup every time I copy something, so that's not a problem in my case. But for someone who was unsuspecting, like, I deleted a movie by accident the first time that I did this, and I can't get that movie back now. So, I mean, obviously there's a problem. You see what I mean? Okay, at the beginning of this video I said there was 3 methods. This third one is a little controversial. Basically what you do is you get a Lightning to USB camera adapter. You get something like a Hubman. You plug Hubman into the camera adapter, and then you make a folder called DCIM on a flash drive. You plug flash drive into Hubman and copy your movies to the flash drive. Problem is, I just tested this and it didn't work. So I'm not going to add this to the price. I'm going to say that this was a fail, and I'm going to try to get my money back on this. More or less. I think it was a fail. So let me correct by saying that there's 2 methods, not 3. Let's move on. So, what do I think is the best method? Honestly, I think you could use both. Keeping things on your iCloud drive to watch and just making sure that they're copied and not actually moved isn't that difficult to do. And like I said, there's some TV shows and movies that don't have digital downloads anymore that I would like to keep. You can't find them online. You can't do anything like that. The iPad does not support Kodi Media Center unless you jailbreak it, and this is too new of a device for me to jailbreak. So that's not going to happen. If you jailbreak, there's thousands of other methods. There's iFile, there's Kodi Media Center, there's this little number with iFile. There's hundreds of methods. I'm not jailbreaking. This is for basically the end user, whoever's going to pick up one of these iPads and do what I've done. So, with that being said, I would say I use Netflix more than I use this other thing. But Netflix is what, like $10? Plus 1 for the iCloud drive. It's $11 a month. So we'll say the total cost of this, again, we've got $220 for the iPad, $20 for the keyboard, and another $11, so we're up to $231 for the iPad. Not bad. Not bad. But as you can see, with the price of stuff, things are starting to get a little bit more expensive. Anyway, with that being said, I would say use both of these. I would say use Netflix, use iCloud Drive, and just kind of improvise. Personally, though, unless you're going on vacation somewhere and taking your iPad with you, if you're in college taking notes, you shouldn't be watching movies anyway. If you're at work using this as a device, you shouldn't be watching movies anyway. If you're babysitting, or if you are trying to help someone out and you've just got an iPad to use as like a resource center, or if you are, I don't know, leave in the comments below what you use your iPad for, but there's only like 3 or 4 different ways you should be watching full-length movies on this thing. And 90% of those ways, again, unless it's a car ride, have Wi-Fi. So Netflix should work and iCloud Drive should work. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Tune in next week when I start talking about video editing and writing, because both of those are near and dear to my heart, and I've tried to use the iPad for both of them. And it's actually kind of worked. So anyway, this is Adam. Take it easy.